New Year, everybody. My name is Carla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, Carla being Crafty, where I talk about cross stitch and other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life. Today is a very special video. It is my 2023 finish parade. So I started doing a whip parade in 2019 when I first started stitching, but then 2 years ago I added a finish parade. So I try and post the whip parade like the last 2 weeks of the year. Usually I do it like Christmas, over the Christmas holiday, because I get an extra day off of work, and I did that. It's posted, so please go check it out if you haven't already. And then I try and post my finish parade on the first day of the year. So I'm actually filming this on Saturday the 30th, but I will be posting it on Monday. I don't know how bright and early, depends on what time I get up. Yeah, so I'm excited to be showing you all of my finishes for this year. Now, last year I had finishes numbering in the 20s, and I had less this year when I was looking at, you know, organizing for these videos and everything, and I was kind of beating myself up a little bit when I realized, hey, I started crocheting this year, and I have, along with my 17 cross stitch finishes, I have like 14 or 15 crochet finishes as well. So not too bad. I feel like I did a pretty good job of being productive in my crafty world. Something that is important to me, because the creativity of what I do, that's really my soul. You know, my work is work, you know, brings in money so I can pay my rent and feed my cat. But what really makes my heart sing is the crafty stuff that I do. So anyway, I'm going to share everything with you. Now, my cross stitch, I have like pretty like organized as to like all my projects and when I start them and when I finish them and all that kind of stuff. And crochet, I haven't gotten like that. It's just kind of like, oh, I decide to do something, I do it, whatever. So I don't have like dates and stuff that much. So I'm not going to mix them in. I'm just going to show you all the crochet to start and then all of the cross stitch. And I think that'll just be a little bit easier for me. I also was a little bit proactive this year, which is good, because in years past that's been a problem. And most of the stuff that I've given away, I actually did take pictures of before I sent it off to the gift recipient, and so I can show you those projects in pictures. So I think that's all I need to tell you. So without further ado, let's get into my finishes for 2023, so we can start 2024 off clean and happy and fresh slate. Okay, so crochet finishes. The first thing I did when I was learning to crochet, or I basically taught myself to crochet, I got a bug in my ear that I wanted to learn to crochet. Actually, I saw all of those like commercials for the Woobles, and they sucked me in, and I was going to get one of those kits, but honestly, I found them to be really expensive, and I was like, I could get crochet hooks and yarn and teach myself, you know, this is my overambitious crafting nature, that it was like, why should I pay that much money for this little kit? And instead, you know, I can watch YouTube videos. So that's basically what I did. So the first thing that I made was this bag that was crocheted on a zipper. So I had some zippers, so I went ahead and did it. This is like really not great on the video. There are no holes. It is not such an open weave. But you know what? It got me used to feeling yarn. It got me used to holding crochet hooks. So I learned a lot in this process. This is not super well made, and then I used it for a bunch of stuff, and it's already starting to rip. But you know, as a nostalgia piece, like, it helped me learn how to crochet. This bag started it all, as inexpert as it is. But you know what? I'm glad, because I'm really enjoying crocheting. So, and if you watch my whip parade, you'll see all of my crochet whips, which are currently in progress as well. Okay, so that was the very first thing I did. And then I found a pair of Now, I think they were calling them 1 hour slippers or something like that. They weren't 1 hour slippers for me, but I made a pair of slippers using, oh gosh, this is a chunky yarn, super bulky, and of course I don't have a ball near me. But anyway, so I made this pair of slippers. They turned out pretty good. They're a little dirty because I was wearing them, so forgive that. So this is one ball of a yarn that stripes. So I was pretty proud of these. Like, you know, they fit my feet. I actually had to adjust the pattern to make it fit right. And I learned more as I made these. And then once I made these, I showed them to my friend and she's like, ooh, I like those. So I made her a pair, and then I made her mom a pair. And then her mom took the pair that I made for my friend when she went back to the Philippines. So she took both of them. So anyway, I made 3 pairs of these using the same type of yarn, the same brand, which I want to say it's a Lion brand. Thick and Quick, I think is what it's called. So that was that project. Then I was still on the slipper kick, and I think this was the same pattern that I used, but I used a different yarn, and I made these. So of course I made these when it was a little bit cooler, and then it got hot and I would never wear them. But now I'm wearing socks right now. It is now time to haul out the slippers that I made and wear them because they are nice and snuggly and cozy on your feet. Okay, then, and I'm saying then, but I don't know if this is exactly the right order. I was enjoying using that bulky yarn, and I found a pattern for a basket. So I made this. It's sort of a square basket that kind of goes round when it's stuffed full of yarn, but I made that same brand of yarn, the Thick and Quick, different colorway. And I really actually, this did crochet up really super fast. I think it took three balls, and I'm gonna make another one. I think I got yarn for it. So that was that. Then I got into amigurumi, which is little animals, little toys, right? And the first one, this was from a kit, but I didn't use the kit yarn. So this was my first one, this little elephant. I think he turned out really great. I probably could have stuffed him a little more. I don't know, he feels a little skinny, but you know, it was my first one, my first time setting eyes in, using the safety eyes, and I usually have him sitting up there on my, actually on top of my little cabinet that holds like small tools and supplies. So that was the first one. The second one I think might be my favorite. I got a pattern off of Lovecrafts, a free pattern for a Grogu, and made him. He's just so cute. And he's usually sitting right here. I have another box which isn't here because I'm going to show it to you in a few minutes. And he usually sits on top of there, nestled within the plant. And I just think he's adorable. And then I found Crafty Intentions Making Lap. Her patterns are not beginner patterns. They're pretty challenging, but I'm up for a challenge, and this was my first Megan Lap piece, and it won't be my last because I just love it. This is her what does she call them? Something mermaid, but it's like, it's not fat, but it's like they're not skinny mermaids, right? And her mermaids don't have a face. I mean, like, they have eyes, but they don't have like a nose and a mouth. And I put a nose and a mouth because I don't know, it was bothering me. But then I don't know if I really like the nose and mouth that I put in her. I think she looks kind of fishy, which I guess actually, as a considering she's a mermaid, is fine. I got this yarn specially for the hair because I just love how it looks. I have her hair clipped back, so you can do different things with her hair. And I'll be honest, the reason that she has like the pearls around her neck and stuff is because the neck, I didn't do it quite right. She's kind of floppy. And so then I had to like put wire to stiffen her neck because otherwise her head wasn't standing up. I didn't do it correctly. So then this is covering the wire. But overall, I mean, it's not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but I still really like her. The only thing I don't like about it, okay, obviously I sewed that really badly right there. But it, you know, because there's no feet and it's a mermaid, like she can't sit, she can't stand, she can only kind of lay, unless I get a stand for her, which I haven't done yet. But I do like her. I think she's really cool. She doesn't have a beautiful face. That's the only thing I don't like that. So I'll have to work on that in the future. And maybe just put the eyes, like the pattern. Like I put fancier eyes. The pattern just has like the black button eyes, and no nose or mouth. So, like I said, she kind of looks kind of fishy, but you know, overall, I think I did a pretty good job. And, yeah, so that's my mermaid. And, okay, and then the other things that I made were gifts. So let me photos. Okay, so I made this strawberry for my friend's birthday. Oh, wow, that was glary. There, I made that strawberry. I just wanted to give her just a little something, and really this was just a, you know, 2-hour project, but she loves it. And she picked me up recently because my car is still in the shop. So she picked me up for work and she has it hanging in her car. So that's nice to know. And then I made 4 birds for Julie stitching at the cabin. I only have 3 of them with a really good picture. But I think my favorite is this one. And she has 4 birds. So each of the birds is like sort of a little miniature replica of her bird. This was the first one I think I made. Or no, maybe it was, yeah. So the one that, so the blue, this is the blue hyacinth, and then that one is the one that I don't have a good picture of. So Julie, when I gave them to Julie, she took them home, and her husband, she had found like this really pretty like stick out in the woods up by their cabin, and he actually mounted them, all 4 of them, to the stick in different, you know, I mean, it just looks really cool. And then he mounted it over, like, kind of like coming out into the room, so it's like going into the room where the birds live. And you know, it's cute from the front and the back. So so that was that. And then the last crochet gift thing I made was I made a 0 for my nephew Hudson's birthday in October. He loves The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I was just trying to think of, you know, something that I could make that I could, you know, do fairly easily, but it would still look cute and whatever. And I made him this 0. And, oh, there we go. and I mean, I think it turned out pretty cute. Again, it's not perfect. I'm still new at crochet. So, but you know what? I'm pretty happy with how everything has turned out. Again, not perfect. But perfection is not my goal. Enjoyment is my goal, and ending up with something that I like, that is functional or beautiful or whatever. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's it. That's all of the crochet things I finished. Oh, no, one more. What did I do with it? I made myself a scrunchie. I made a scrunchie for Reagan too, but I don't have a picture of it. But I made myself this scrunchie, and I gotta tell you, I made it with cotton, so it's nice. Like if when I wash my hair, I put my hair up in a messy bun almost every night. I don't like sleeping with my hair hanging down on my neck. So I use this almost every night, but it is especially good like when my hair is wet, because the cotton, you know, helps absorb the water. So yeah, I made a scrunchie, and I want to make more scrunchies because they're fast, they're quick, and actually I really enjoy this. So, okay. So that is the end of my my crochet finishes. Okay, so on to the cross stitch finishes, and let me see. I think I wrote down statistics here. I intended to, but that doesn't necessarily mean I did it. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to look for them. Okay, so cross stitch finishes this year. The first one is actually the biggest. So the first one I finished Catnap Fae. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs quick stitch by Nadia Tate. This was done on a 16 count crystal Whirlpool Aida by Picture This Plus. And obviously I didn't stitch the background. I gridded this fabric myself because I was brand new, and I thought, oh, I have to grid in order to do full coverage. And I was trying so hard to get this done last year, and it just didn't happen. It ended up happening in January. So this I started in 2019. I don't know the exact date because I wasn't really recording stuff then. But I finished it January 28th, 2023. So it took me about 3.5 years to do this. And of course, when I give you the how long it took me, I'm not a monogamous stitcher, so there may have been months when I didn't touch it, or it may have gotten touched once during a month or whatever, but I'm just giving you start date and end date. So, Catnap Fae, first one. And this was my second like HAED finish, or full coverage finish, so it's pretty exciting. I don't know what I'm going to do with this as far as finishing it. I haven't really decided yet. I think I would make a sweet little pillow, but I don't know. I'm kind of like at war. I don't know if at war is the right word. I don't enjoy sewing using my sewing machine. I have a sewing machine. It would be very easy to make a pillow. But having to haul the sewing machine out and use it when I don't like to, I'm reluctant. But I also could maybe hand stitch a pillow, so I'm gonna have to think about that. I mean, it's been sitting around for a year. Obviously, I'm not super fussed about getting things fully finished. I like it when I do, but it doesn't keep me up at night. So eventually I'll decide what to do with that. Possibly turn it into a cute little pillow. Don't know. Okay, the second thing I did was a little Chatelaine Manuela's sunflowers. Right here. And I just finished it. This was from Kohl's. I get these little things when they're on like clearance and hold on to them. And this one I thought would be perfect. So it has a little, you can kind of see a little sticking out bit that had some saying on it. I have no idea what it said originally. And I just basically glued this to that little bit. I think it looks great. So this was like the companion to these other two, which I don't know if you can see back here, but I did the roses and the violets the year before. And then this was the third one of those little flower type deals. And let's see, I don't think this one took me that long. Oh, here we go. So this just took me a week. I started this on February 19th, 2023, and I finished it on February 26th. So it just took me a week. It was a whim type thing. And this is on a little bit of linen. I think that this is the leftover bit from the Italian cats, the Chatelaine Italian cats that I finished last year, I think. This is like the pinker bit. So that is Manuela's Sunflowers. Okay, third one is my second Bewitching Pixie, Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixie. This one is Gigi. And I have been, you can kind of see a line here. The reason you're seeing that is because I have felt backing it, and that's the seam of the felt. So it's not really a line that you're seeing in the stitching. It's a line that you're seeing from the light shining through. So I might need to put a strip of something back there so that doesn't happen. Yeah, because when I cover it, it's a light issue. So anyway, this is Gigi. And so I started doing these Bewitching Pixies on Backgrounds Fabrics by Flair. And I like the way that they look, finding like a fun backgrounds fabric and then putting the Bewitching Pixie on it. So the first one I finished is behind my head right there, Eva. I call her Eva Across the Moon. And that was the first one. I mean, I saw that fabric and I'm like, I know exactly what would look great on that. And I went and got the Bewitching Pixie. And then that gave me the idea to go get a bunch of these backgrounds fabrics and a bunch of pixies. And I've been doing like, one issue a year. So I finished this one last year. And then I have one that has started that hopefully will get finished early this year. So Gigi, I started her April 25th of 2022, and I finished her March 18th, so 11 months. And she was up there. She was hanging up there next to Eva. And I think what happened is I had my kitchen light, the whole fixture was changed by maintenance because it kept going out like every 4 months. So they gave me a new light fixture. And I think, I didn't see it happen, but I think that maybe they like hit it with the ladder when they were going past, because then the next day it fell. Like the whole, the 3M hooks and everything fell off the wall. And I just have kept it down because I knew I was going to do a finish parade, and I have to climb on a ladder to get it up there. And so, yeah. So hopefully I will feel the energy to climb up on the ladder and get it up there again soon-ish. And then I'm working on another one right now. I'm working on Zinnia. So she will be done, as I said, hopefully maybe in March is when I do my fancy folk. So that's when she should get a finish, hopefully. Okay. The fourth one was Cute Lion Biscornu by Tiny Modernist. And I started this one August 1st, 2022, and I finished it May 7th, 2023. So it took me about 9 months to do it. I did this with my friend Donna Duval. She had never done a Biscornu. I had never done a Biscornu, so we started Biscornus together. I think she finished hers way before I finished mine. But, you know, I wanted to experience making a Biscornu. The actual putting the Biscornu part together was very easy, so that's not a scary thing anymore. And I think it's pretty cute. So, I mean, I don't have any immediate plans to make any more Biscornus, but I do like it. And I like saying Biscornu. And I started this in August because I do every August, my birthday's in August. So every August I do a black cat birthday sal, and I also do a lion of some kind. And so this was my 2022 lion. Okay, B sampler, Little by Little House Needleworks. I finished this just on a box, and I changed the words, obviously. Every February I do I call it hashtag Be My Own Valentine Sal, BEE, My Own Valentine Sal. And I've done it 3 or 4 years now. I have a whole reason why, which I will tell you guys when it gets closer to February. But anyway, this was my my Be My Own Valentine Sal pattern for 2023. So I started it February 1st and I finished it on June 15th. And this was the one from last year. So this is 2022. So I kind of like picked color. Well, actually I used the same colors. So if you see a blue in one, it's the same blue in the other. The greens are the same. The gold and, you know, all that kind of stuff is the same. And so I meant them to kind of like go together. So this was 2022 and then this was this year, 2023. And I just finished them on these box lids. That is usually where they live, and then Grogu. Lives right there. Oops. Okay. Next one that I finished was the Cardinal that I made. This is for my friend Tracy. So I have made 3 birds for her so far. I've made one a year for the last 3 years. I just started because I wanted to make something for her. I originally made her 2 Mill Hill kits, 2 wine, like a red wine and a white wine, that turned out really adorable. And I sent those to her. That was like the first year I started stitching. And then the next year I wanted to make her something. And she has a bird feeder. She's very into the birds in her backyard and the chipmunks, and to a lesser extent the squirrel. She likes chipmunks way better. But anyway, so I wanted to make her birds, and she likes like the natural looking birds, like the real looking birds. So anyway, I made her, I think they were chickadees the first year. And then I found this pattern, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make you a bird every year. So then I made her a blue jay, and then this year I made her a cardinal. And yeah, and I finished them just in like the rubber sort of hoops, you know, that look like wood, but they're rubber. So I finished them all in that kind of thing, so they all can be grouped together and look good together. And I think right now she has, the chickadees are in their kitchen, but she has this one and the blue jay like on top of each other. And this year, I think I'm making her a hummingbird. And the thing that that we both like is that I'm making her birds that actually she can see in her backyard. So birds that are actually native to where she lives, which is Pittsburgh. So that was the Cardinal. And let's see, the Cardinal Cardinal was started April 1st, 2023, because April is my friends and family month. And then I finished that on June 21st, 2023. So it took about 3 months to make that one. Okay. Then I finished a little Mill Hill ornament, my pad. And this one, if you guys are regular viewers of my channel, you remember that I got it finished and then I fully finished it. I glued it on here and realized that I had not backstitched the face. So it had no face. You know, like the smile and like the eyebrows and stuff like that. So I sat here and I looked at it and I'm like, should I just leave it? And some people were like, oh, you should just leave it. It looks fine. And I was like, no, I'm going to go for it. And I took a black Sharpie and I drew in what I had missed. I forgot the little antennas, the mouth, and then like details on the eyes. And actually, I think the black Sharpie looks fine. So I have done several Mill Hill ornaments this way where I have glued them onto a candle lid, this shaped candle lid. Now you do have to be careful because I have one, because they don't stand on every edge. So you have to find the edge that it stands on and make sure that you put that on the bottom. Because I have one that I did that it doesn't stand on the edge that's the bottom. It stands on the edge that's like that. So it has to tilt. But this one, I did it correctly and it does stand up on its edge, which you can't see, but there. That is my pad by Mill Hill. And that one, I don't know when I started it. I started it in 2022. But I didn't have it on my list, so it's mystery when I started it. And I finished it August 12th, 2023. So a year to a year and a half-ish. Okay, then I finished my black cat on my Target bag. So this is what I did, excuse me, for my black cat birthday sale this year. And the color, there's more than one color here. I mean, it looks kind of flat, especially on camera. In person, it depends on how the light hits it. It's like lighter here that makes the face, but so this bag was back in 2019 when I first started stitching. Target came out with these bags in their dollar spot. I think they were like $3 each, and they can be stitched on. You know, they're just inexpensive, pleathery stuff, but it's perforated, and so you can stitch on it. And people in the cross stitch community went crazy, and were buying them right and left, and you know, like, oh, there's none at my Target, or there's a bunch at my Target, I can buy some and send them to people. And you know, it was just like a whole big thing. So I went to my local Target. I was a baby stitcher. I had no idea what to even do with this, but it seemed like something I needed to get in on. And I bought 3. I wish I had bought more now, but I bought a black one, a blue one, and a tan one. And then I stitched a really gorgeous flower on the tan one, gave it to my friend. Her mom took it. It's in the Philippines now. And then I think last year I used the black one, and I put an ink circles small mandala on it, and it looked really, really pretty. I was really happy with it. And then my sister-in-law was like, oh, that's so pretty, and she was kind of raving over it, so I ended up giving it to her for Hanukkah. So this year I was like, okay, I'm using the last bag, but it's going to be for me because you can't get these anymore. So so I did that black cat on it, and it came out okay. I wish that maybe I had used more strands. I did 3 strands. I did it with 3 strands. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it looks very cross stitchy. I could have used more strands, but you know, it came out nice. I'm happy with it. I've been using this bag. I have bags in it. I have all of my project bags, empty project bags, to be used, you know, as I kit stuff up. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Let's see, the chart was by Selva Designs on Etsy. And I started that August 1st, 2023, and I finished it 9/30/2023, so it took me 2 months. Okay. Next, Forget Me Nots by Riolis. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I love Riolis kits. I love the wool acrylic thread, floss, whatever you want to call it. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody can stitch it because some people, the wool irritates their hands, whatever. But I really do enjoy it. And I finished one last year that I had been working on. It was like one of my oldest whips. And then I started this one and finished it, and it's just so pretty. And I have the teak hanger. I just need to, iron it, put the felt on the back and put it and hang it underneath the one I did last year. But as I said, I'm really bad about fully finishing stuff. So the Riolis Forget Me Nots was started February 1st, 2023, because February is my floral month, or my floral focus month, however you want to put it. And I finished this on October 25th, so it took me about 9 months to finish this one. Okay. Then I went through a period of a couple weeks where I was into making these teeny little ornamenty things. And the first one I did, I don't even think I put these on my, did I put these on my list? Oh, I did. Okay, so the first one I did was a Stitch an Inch, this cat. So Stitch an Inch is, I think, by the Bay Needle Art, but I'm not sure that this one is because it's from the Halloween magazine, the Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine from, I don't even know what year. And then I just finished it in one of these teeny little wooden hoops. And then I put Stickles glitter glue around the edge. And it hangs on my all holidays, all seasons ornament tree right there. I gave up trying to have an ornament tree for the different holidays that come along because I never change it out. So I would look in September and it still had, the Valentine's stuff. So I finally gave up on that. I'm not that type of person to be able to remember to change stuff out or have the interest to change it out. So I decided, you know what? All of these little ornaments that I've made, I have Halloween, I have Valentine's, I have St. Patrick's, I have all of these little ornaments. They're all going on the tree all at once and it's going to be out all the time. So that's what I did. So that is that one. And this was like a SAF. I started it and finished it in a couple hours. And then I enjoyed doing that one so much that I then did another one. So this is the turkey, and I don't even know where I got this pattern. It's actually the second time that I've stitched this turkey, which I didn't even realize because I don't have the ornaments out, but I stitched it a while ago, right here. Oops. So I have two now. I have two turkeys. Two ornamental turkeys. And I did the same thing. I finished it in a little wooden hoop thing, and then I put Stickles glitter glue around the edge to finish it, and I think it's adorable. And that was another SAF. That one I didn't, yeah, that one was like a one-day thing too. Okay. Next thing I finished was Ashes by Mill Hill. So there are 4, these are the alley cats. And I did, Coal is, you can't see it, but it's over there on my shelf. And then I did Ashes, and there's 2 more. Another, Coal is orange, and then this is green, obviously, and there's 1 more of each color. They're all like these sort of dark gray black cats in different weird cat positions, and they all have these corner motifs with different colors in the squares and different little beaded patterns. And I have all the materials to finish this. I finished Coal, and I'm doing this the same way on a little black pre-stretched canvas, and I just, you know, stretch this over it, and then I have little black upholstery tacks that I use along the edge to hold it, and also as a decorative element. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow I'll get a lot of these like finishes done. Maybe this afternoon, I don't know. Part of it is I just have to haul out the iron, which is, you know, that's probably the biggest hurdle. All right, so that was Ashes by Mill Hill. I started that July 25th this year, and I finished it on 11/11, so that was about 4 months. Then I finished my Pumpkin Trio, which is another Mill Hill ornament kit. And I started this for Laura Stitching at the Shores pumpkin birthday sale in October. I wanted to participate, and I did actually have a pattern that had a pumpkin on it, and I didn't even think about that pattern, but I mean like a whip that was already going. But I wanted to start something, and I had two little autumn Mill Hills, and I showed her both of them I sent her a text message and or an Instagram message, and she picked this one, and so I chose this, and then I'll do the other one next year, which is, let me see if I have the other one right away. Nope. This. So next year I will probably do this one. But this was this year, and I started this on 11/4, and I finished it sometime this month. Didn't write down the day. And then I just used the extra floss to make a little cord and just put felt on the back, and it goes there. Okay, then I made a gift for my niece's birthday. She turned 14 2 days ago on Thursday. They adopted a puppy on her birthday. Not planned. They actually had to put down Lilo. I talked about her on my channel. They adopted a year ago. They adopted a special needs dog who had sort of neurological damage from being, she was rescued from a hoarder puppy mill type situation, and so a lot of inbreeding, and it created a neurological problem with her. Kind of, the vets were saying that it was akin to like cerebral palsy. And they didn't think it was, you know, they thought they were going to be able to deal with it. It wouldn't be a problem, but unfortunately, it just was progressing. She went blind, which didn't seem to be a problem, but then she started getting aggressive and snappy. And the vet said that she probably was in constant, like she probably had a constant headache and was never feeling well. So they felt like she wasn't having any kind of quality of life, and they had to put her down. They were not planning on getting another dog at all, but they were in the mall because it was Reagan's birthday, I guess, and they passed a pet store, and just, it was like the stars aligned. There were a couple things that just made them feel like this puppy was meant to be, and they went ahead and adopted her. And she's like so cute. She's a Bishampu, and 14 weeks old, this little fluffy thing. She's all different colors. She's like black and cream and like a caramel color and like a brown, and so they decided to call her Coco because she's all the different colors of chocolate. But anyway, it was Reagan's birthday, and so I wanted to make her something, and I made her this little blackwork piece because of course she is a cheerleader. Let me see if I turn it this way, will it get bigger? Yeah, she's a cheerleader, competitive cheerleader. They just got a bid to Florida, both of the teams that she was on. She cannot be more excited about that. So yeah. And this is really good. I mean, I really enjoyed the black work enough that, oh, you know what, that reminds me, I have 2 other finishes to show you. Okay, I'm glad that I reminded myself. But I really enjoyed doing the black work, so much so that I'm thinking about doing more. But yeah, so cheer for Reagan. Okay, then in this past week, just this past week, I got 2 more finishes and these 2 safts. So, oh, and erase that. I didn't even have this on the list, but I finished this last week. This was a big deal finish. This is Sampler au Chat by Jardin Privé. This is pretty big. So I started with a pretty big finish at the beginning of the year and then ended the year with a couple little ones, but this one is a pretty big finish. So this is, now I'm not a sampler stitcher. This is one of those things where I saw this and I went, wow, even though I'm not a sampler stitcher. So this is like one of those exceptions to the rule kind of things. And, I loved it. So I started this back in 2020 in September 1st because, you know, sampler September. So I was excited to have a sampler to start that I was excited to start, you know. And I stitched this on a 20 count ice blue Aida. I know it's really hard to see that it's blue, but it is. And I did it with sulky thread. So I used a variegated sulky for the majority of it, and then 2 solid colors, the purple for the cats and the rose color for all the little extra bits. And I finished this on 12/20/2023. So that's 3 years, almost 4 months. Now, somebody who was watching my channel last week, when I showed this finish, said something about the missing letters. And for those of you who don't know, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I have heard this from other stitchers. Obviously this is just a sampler that somebody designed, but the idea of the sampler originally was, obviously it was a thing to teach young, usually girls, but sometimes boys too, how to stitch, because that would be part of their lives, right? Stitching, if you were a gentle woman, you would stitch decorative things, and if you were a lower class person, you would have to stitch things for service, to be used. So, you know, you needed to know how to sew and stitch. So they would make samplers, and it was also a way for them to learn their alphabets and their letters and stuff like that. So part of the reason that sometimes letters are missing is if you learned how to stitch, like, okay, like down here in this alphabet, there's no V. You didn't need a V because the V is part of the W. So if you were learning how to stitch a V, you learned how to stitch it in stitching the W. So that's why there's no V. And so there's a lot of letters like that. Oftentimes there's not a J. I don't know if there's no J or no I. H-I. Yeah. I don't know if this is supposed to be a J or an I, but basically you're learning how to stitch from both of them. So anyway, that's why. And just holding it up, I saw a spot. I don't know. Yeah, there's like a schmutz right there. I have to wash this. I don't know what that is. Okay, but anyway, so this was a pretty big end of the year finish. And I think I will eventually end up framing this. Seems like the kind of thing that should be framed, but again, I have no immediate plans to do that. Okay, So that was last week I finished that, but then this week I managed to sneak in, as I said, 2 more finishes and 2 safts. So I did finish Prickly Owl. This is a Dimensions kit. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't even mark it down. So, okay, so I started this on May 1st, 2023, and I finished it this week. So the end of last week of December. And this was my friend's piece because I got the chart from my friend Dawn Frisch from Arizona. I went on a trip to Arizona. She was like the first person who watched my channel that I met in real life. And she gave me this little chart sort of as a remembrance of Arizona, the little cactusy owl. And so I had the chart for a couple years, and then my friend Julie, Stitching at the Cabin, held it up. I don't know if she had just gotten it or whatever, but she had it and she was thinking about starting it. And I'm like, I have that, we should start it together. So we did. This came with like a white kit Aida or a cream kit Aida, which I don't like using white and cream unless unusual circumstances. But normally I don't, and I don't usually like using white or cream kit Aida, especially. So I pull it out and then I dye it. This was actually a kit Aida, a blue kit Aida that then I over dyed with turquoise to kind of make it a little bit modelly, and I really liked how it looks. So this is fun. This is going to be framed. I actually have the frame already, and it fits. It's going to fit perfectly in this. And I think it's going to look really good. I have 2. I have one that's sort of a reddy toned wood, and then I have this sort of golden toned wood, and it's going to look really good in that. Okay, so that was Prickly Owl. Excuse me, eyelash on my eye. And then I did the... Hold on, I still have an eyelash in my eye. Sorry. Oh. Okay. So I want to join Laura Stitching at the Cabin. She hosted in like October-ish time. She hosted a artist trading card swap, and it went really well. And she's doing another one next month. And I wanted to participate this time. So the theme is winter, and it was basically like stitch anything that makes you think of winter or whatever. So I took it, being in California, like we don't have like snowflakes and stuff like that. I mean, I could stitch a snowflake or something, but it really wouldn't be true to my experience. So I went with cozy. What makes me feel like winter cozy? And I have this chart that I bought that was blackwork, and I just pulled a couple elements, and I made 2 of these little stitches. I did them with Sulky on a 32 count Monaco. So I did this one, which is just a little teacup and tea pot, and then I did this one, which this little mouse and books, which I just really like that one. I think it's really cute. You know, because when I think about winter being cozy, curling up with books, and then the lamp, I really like that one. And I might do that one again. I have room on this piece of fabric. I might do a 3rd one, and I probably do this one again, maybe with different colors or something. And as I said, I really like kind of doing the black work, and I did check with Laura, and she said that counts as far as, I mean, I know it's not cross stitch, but it's still needlework. And so now I have to figure out how to turn them into artist trading cards. And then the last finish that I got, I finished yesterday. I was sitting here and I was like, why have I not finished this? And I thought, oh, it'll just drag into the next year. And I'm like, that's dumb. This is going to take me 1 or 2 days to finish. Actually, it took 3. It took me 1 day to do all the stitching, and then 2 days to do the back stitching, which normally I like back stitching. Obviously, I just said I liked the black work, but for whatever reason, the back stitching on this was kind of a pain. But I did it. So this was my lion head. This is Cooler Designs. that I have a big book of like cooler design, like little motif. Well, some of them are bigger, but it's a whole book of cooler designs. And so I chose this year for my August lion project. And I decided to do it on, you know, this metallic perforated paper, which I think is kind of cool. And I just ordered from Kohl's. I ordered another one of these, like Manuela's sunflowers, that kind of thing, where it's a square and there's another square in the middle that's kind of raised. And I'm going to use that for this as soon as I get it. And that will be easy. That will be trimming this into a square and gluing it onto that square. Maybe with some felt behind it, since you can see through it. Like, I don't know what color, but like if I put it on orange, I think that would look good. So yeah. So I just finished that yesterday. I started it on August 8th and I finished it on December 29th. So that means that I had, if you count these two little safts as two projects, which they are, you know, little counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That means that I got 19 finishes in 2023, 19 cross stitch finishes or needlework finishes. And then I got about 14 or 15 crochet finishes as well. I think that was pretty good. That was pretty good for 2023. So I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. I hope 2024 brings us all health and happiness and prosperity and, you know, all of the good things. You know, things have been struggles for people. The world needs some peace and health, and I just wish that for all of us. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you for being a part of my stitchy year. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Carla. Happy New Year.